think that I just come in there and look for knockoffs, and that's not the case. You know, I'm actually a sharp, smart fighter.
So, well, I'm here. Who wants to fight me?
I really don't care who's in front of me. I don't feel like no fighter can beat me.
Demolish everybody, to be honest. Everybody that's in my way. The pinnacle to any weight division is to have all the belts, all of the titles.
Welcome to Bodywork. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. It feels so good to be back. How y'all doing out there, man? How are y'all doing out there? I hope everybody's enjoying their evening, man. It's hump day. It's a lot of boxing to talk about, and I wanna go ahead and get into some Tevin Farmer, some Kid Austin, boxing talk. I'm not sure if that's all right with y'all, but that's on the docket for today. I see Cookie Monster, Bodywork. Mic check, 1 2 1 2, sounding crystal clear. You know that's what I like to hear. I appreciate you for it, man. We going smooth, I guess. You know, I go live about certain topics, man, and the algorithms or the little puppets or the little Wizard of Oz, the people that's pulling the strings don't want me to do my thing, you know. But we back. We are back, man, and I'm excited, man. I am very excited, man, because, again, I always say this. Salute AC. Salute Bodywork in the chat. You can find, it's 80% good. It's 20% bad. You know, it's just a lot of people find themselves talking about the 20% of everything that's bad. You know, I try to even it out. You know, I speak to the things because silence is consent is the channel. Meaning that when something not right, we speak about it. So I love to see when people speak out about things that's not right. You know, I wish they would do them in real time. You know, but I'll take a hindsight as well. But let's talk about some things, man. Many people might be wondering why did you put Unsung? Because I think to a certain extent right now, I mean, I know it's not all over, but I believe to a certain extent, Tevin Farmer is an unsung hero, man. I really do. And by definition, an unsung hero is someone who makes significant contributions or performs acts of merit, of great merit, but doesn't receive the recognition or the praise they deserve. These individuals often work behind the scenes, quietly making a positive impact on their communities or in their fields of work. They are often characterized by selflessness, dedication, and desire to make a difference without seeking accolades, you know. And on a deeper level, the imagery that Tevin Farmer and his lady, the imagery that they provided, and that her, picking his head up, man, that was golden, man. Imagery wise, that was almost like seeing, the people that was a couple years ago, the couple that was in the office for a lot of people like myself, just the optics. I'm just talking about the optics, just seeing the optics of how when he was down, he had his head down and she picked his head up and she's like, man, you pick your head up, King. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a movie. You know, the things that he's doing outside of the boxing ring, that's a movie. You know, like, you know, dabbling in the real estate. You know, even the story, when you hear him talk about his story and how he came up, and you know, a while ago I might not have been the biggest Tevin Farmer fan, but I always respected his work, and he's one of those guys, just like a lot of these guys, who over time they actually grow on you. You know why? Because for me, it's not always the fact that you're taking a loss, or you have, you know, you don't have the most exciting style, or it's some of that it's not that. It's really how you carry yourself in the sport. You know, if people looking up to you, or people that was in and around you, or in your weight class, or in this era, if they acted like you, would the sport be more positive, or would it become more negative? And I would have to say that if people did, you know, move like Tevin Farmer, I mean, he had some time away. So I'm really focused on this resurging Tevin Farmer. That I'm the one that I'm talking about. I'm talking about after he took his break, you know, he stepped away for a while, you know, lived a little bit of life, experienced a little bit of life, and came back. And I feel as though he's the unsung hero, because he's embodying the spirit behind what a lot of these younger guys should be doing. If you think about it, man, you coming off of a layoff, he comes back, he faces Raymond Danger Morataya. You know, he gives him all he can handle. I think maybe the inactivity might have affected him a little bit, you know, so he kind of faded, but he was in that fight. You know, he was in that fight. You know, then you look at the next fight. You look at, you know, coming right back and then getting the Williams Zepeda. And, you know, I don't even think it's arguably. I would say that Tevin Farmer actually won the first fight. He dropped Zepeda clean, and that was unexpected from Tevin Farmer at that time. You know, he come back, and it was so controversial, and that's how you know that more than likely he won it, but it was the business of boxing rearing its ugly little head, because they had a rematch. It was like, man, you know, Williams Zepeda really didn't have to do it. Now, that spoke to Williams Zepeda as well. That spoke to him as well. And it also, once again, spoke to the spirit and the unsung hero of Tevin Farmer, because he went down to Mexico and did that in front of a hostile environment. Now, the second fight took on a different turn. He didn't look as good in the second one, but it looked like something was going on with him. You know, like he had hurt himself. He sustained a lot of body work. So when I break down this whole Kid Austin and, you know, Tevin Farmer, the pros and cons, and I start getting off into that, and then we start cooking, I'll dive into that. But to come back off of a layoff, like 3 years, 2-3 years, to fight Raymond Danger Morataya, which is one of the young up-and-comers who at the time, at that 135 over there on Top Rank, let's be honest, man, people were not raising their hands to be like, I give you issue. You know, I'm not saying Raymond Danger is a world beater, but he has a nice set of skills. He's rising. You know, he took Loma's spot. Loma retired. I was like, man, Loma ain't gonna come back and fight him. I thought that he might have been the most likely one that Loma, out of the young guns, Loma would have fought. You know, but Loma gone and he's in this spot. So now he actually holds that belt with a Andy Cruz, you know, barking up that alley. So he went on to do that. Tevin Farmer fought that guy coming off of a layoff. Turn around, fought Williams Zepeda, who's coming up against Shakur Stevenson, who embodies the sweet science. I call him the definition in my Boxes to Watch collection. And to go 22 rounds, arguably winning the first fight, you know, and then going down in, you know, in that hostile environment where all odds are against you and surviving the way he did. You gotta salute that, man. This guys that's not embodying that, and that's why I said outside the ring, the imagery with him and his lady, the things that he's doing, you know, real estate wise, he's talking about business, he's talking about growing, you know, and I think that he's he's more than formidable. But let's get into the breakdown of this. Let me see who we got here. Salute Pop. He said old versus new, I like it. Yeah. So let's get into the breakdown real quick. And let's see. So we have some things to go by. Now, when it comes to Tevin Farmer, the initial outlook for Tevin Farmer is he has the experience. You know, former champ, high level fighting. He's been in there. He's been in the ring with a little bit of everybody. We can go into the box rec as well, but he clearly has the experience advantage. He clearly has the higher boxing IQ. I don't think anybody can doubt that. He clearly has the better defense. Like I said before, in looking at that Williams Zepeda fight, this let me know that Tevin Farmer he has a high punch resistance. He can take a body shot like nobody else. I've never seen somebody get hit so many times in the breadbasket and they don't fold. You know, right now at this point in time, when this matchup occurs, he's been the more actor of the two in between Schofield. Now we see Schofield in the gym. He's working out. He's a gym rat. We know that, but we talking about under the lights. You know what I'm saying? With the small gloves, he's been more active. We can say that Tevin Farmer, his level of competition is better at this point in time than Floyd Schofield. And then you can say his recent performances. You know, to arguably beat Williams Zepeda in that first one, it would have been no second one. I mean, unless Tevin Farmer would have, wanted to run it back. But I think he would have carried his momentum into getting something better. And the downside is probably, you would say, the age. You know what I'm saying? He's clearly the older man. You know, people might say, well, will he age overnight? You know, who knows? You know, sometimes that happens. I'm not leaning towards it. I think that this is a pivotal fight for Tevin Farmer. Not saying that it'll define his career, but if he's able to pull a Gabe Rosado, I don't know if y'all remember when Gabe Rosado was fighting Beck the Bully. You know, that vicious, devastating body punching that Beck the Bully was when he was coming in. I thought he was a nightmare coming in. I said, man, that dude, he's a little wild. But the game plan and the tactic that he used, he was just putting people out left and right. He came in, he dropped Gabe Rosado. Gabe Rosado came back, and because of his boxing IQ, his ring experience, him in the level of competition that he faced before, he came back with a devastating knockout of Beck the Bully. And I'm not sure if he got knockout of the year that year. But that's why I'm comparing Tevin Farmer to Gabe Rosado. This is why I'm saying he will be legend like Gabe Rosado. Why? Because Gabe Rosado gets a lot of respect because he's been in there with a little bit of everybody. Of course, Gabe Rosado took more losses at this stage than Tevin Farmer, of course. But it's not about that. It's about his willingness to like Gabe Rosado still want to fight Edgar Berlanga. He still wants that scrap. That's just the spirit of it. And I believe that that's what's resonating. It's not always all about the it's the willingness to fight, the kind of fight you're going to get when you get in there. And you doing what a lot of people around you, when they looking left and right, you looking straight ahead and you like, I want some of that. That's what Tevin Farmer has. When it comes down to Kid Austin, we can give him the athleticism, right? He has that. We can give him the youth. He has that. Power, sometimes I question it. Look like he has power, but I question it because of the level of competition and the IQ of the people that he faced. Now, I know he get a little reckless, he get a little wild. I think Tevin Farmer and Kid Austin, I know Kid Austin have a tick, but they say that Tevin Farmer has a tick, so I could have put that on for both of them, but, that'll be interesting to actually see. So I question Kid Austin's power. I'm leaning towards, he's more than respectable power. If he catch you clean, I think he can do damage, but I question how much power. It's a couple bosses that don't. You gotta question it because they can get it knockout, they can brutalize you in this, but when the level of competition come up and they can't get that angle or they can't get that leverage, how much is the power? I also question Kid Austin's chin. He can be dropped. And again, he hasn't been facing like the world beaters. Inactive. Camps are often more intense. They're more belaboring. They're more depleting than the actual fight. So, and it's actually getting inside the ring. He's been inactive. And I'm surprised Kid Austin was able to have children, man, because his pullout game is quite vicious. Kid Austin got one of the most vicious pullout games out here in the sport of boxing, man. Because you got to think, a lot of people don't realize this, but he was supposed to fight H2O, Ashton Silva. He was supposed to fight him. He pulled out of that. Lucas' body wound up going in there and actually caught a body. No pun intended. But he pulled out of that fight. Right? Let me see. Then we thought we had a fight. We thought we had a fight with Kid Austin. Everybody was hyped. It was almost like the way they were acting. They was acting like they knew something that we didn't know. We thought that the Schofields actually had a blueprint. We thought they had a plan. And Shakur was like, got him. You know what I'm saying? I did a video at that time saying, did the Schofields put themselves in position to get an upset and actually win a title? Or did they just talk themselves into an ass whooping? And I had reason that they might have talked themselves into an ass whooping. The only caveat was Shakur in the hands. And I thought that at that point in time, had they gotten the ring, that fight was going to have what I always call playback value. Because you have the semi-relentlessness, unpolished Sean Porter. I mean, even though he got a ways to go to be like a Sean Porter, but the unrelentless, unpolished style of a Kid Austin against a clean pocket. You give me the space, I'm gonna put hands and feet on you in Shakur. I'm gonna touch you when I want. You ain't gonna be able to touch me. I'm the Teflon Don. It was a perfect style clash, and guess what? Kid Austin pulls out. He pulls out. So I'm like, man, like, what's going on here? So you got to look at the last couple. He's pulled out consecutive fights in a row, book fights with tight names. Now think about it. That could have been Kid Austin against H2O, but H2O can actually box. He just got caught by Lucas' body because H2O was clearly outboxing Lucas' body until Lucas caught that body. You know what I'm saying? So I would say his vicious pullout game, right? And then lastly, guess what? He ducked Abdullah. Like, I mean, you can say what you want as far as the money. You can say, this and this and this. But the guy who I came out and said he was the potential prototype, and Abdullah Mason, it was on there. It was $1 million deal, and they was like, nah. Then his father come out and say, man, they had an option to go 5 years. Yada yada yada. I mean, 3 years or whatever it was, 5 million over 3 years or whatever kind of I don't know what the deal was, but basically 5 million over a extended period of time versus the 1 million. But see, this is why we're talking about the separation as far as Tevin Farmer being unsung for willing to go fight the young champs. Because you think Tevin Farmer would say no if they said go fight Abdullah Mason? Tevin Farmer's not going to say no. But it's like the young guys don't want to do it. And so I kind of question, and I say that this might be a spoiler alert. This is actually a winnable fight for Tevin Farmer. Why? I gave you all the reasons. I gave you all the reasons. What's up, AC? You there? I actually gave everybody the reasons why. I put them up here. I put all of the reasons here. I put the pros and the cons. You know, now I can say this. Abdullah Mason's been looking crispy. I say, man, if boxing don't work out for him, man, he could definitely be one of them guys on Creed, or you know how they need these people that's in the movies, because he has the physique, he has the look. Now, ever since he got the cut, he got the little boxing scar. You know, he got the image down. He looked crispy doing them drills. The only thing is them punching bags don't be punching back. You know, and I think that Tevin Farmer is definitely going to make it happen. But you there, AC?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, man. I called it. I'm calling it, man. This might be an upset alert, man. I got an upset alert on this one. If people pulling thinking that Kid Austin just going, you know, whatever. You know, how you feel about this matchup?
For me, initially, I was like, this gonna be Kid Austin's test. Either you pass or you fail horribly. It didn't look like the type of test where, you know, if he got a C+, he would do all right. You feel what I'm saying? Your parents still gonna whip your ass because they like, boy, this test was too, you know, this test should have been easy. You feel what I'm saying? I expected you to have at least a B+ or whatever. If he was sharp like that, if everything came together, he's like a Brian Norman Jr. without Brian Norman Sr. So he has those tangibles that he could put things together, but we gonna see if he puts it together. He got that crack and he got that power. The thing is, for me on the opposite side, for Tevin Farmer, is where are you, or where you at right now? Do you still got it? Are you still being able to contend with some of these young guys? You came up from a layoff and you ain't give yourself no easy outs. You took hella fights. You feel what I'm saying? So will that have a play once you start really getting into your training mode? Did you have to cut some of those training days short because it's like your body still ain't recovering? I don't know if you got the type of bread or the machine behind you that can put you in some of those state-of-the-art recovery gyms or recovery facilities and shit like that. So at the end of the day, man, it's a tale of, do I still got it versus am I him, or am I a person that people can start to consider as him? So for Brian Norman, yeah, the possibility of the upset is really, really there. You feel what I'm saying? Because
Schofield,
I'm sorry for Schofield, but the possibility is really, really there, because I don't know if Tevin ever really been hit by somebody who has the power of young Schofield and just doesn't give a fuck like him.
Yeah, it's you know, if he get caught clean, but I'm thinking that wisdom, that, you know, it's something about not being able to get that leverage off. It's a lot of interesting factors, but yeah, I don't question Tevin's chin, but how do you rate Kid Austin's power? You
I rate it as not Wilder, not Tank, not Norman. You feel what I'm saying? I rate it as dangerous.
mm-hmm.
He has dangerous power. You feel what I'm saying? It's a bit more than respectable power, because if you slip up and he's happens to get you with that perfectly timed punch, that's a one punch knockout.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? So I classify his power as dangerous. I classify Tevin Farmer's power as attention getting. You feel what I'm saying? It's slightly under respectable, but it will capture your attention. Like, whoa. You feel what I'm saying? I can't make those type of mistakes, because if I take a lot of those punches, this motherfucker could possibly finish me. His accuracy, if he still has that accuracy, that's going to be key in this fight.
I think it's gonna come down to if Kid Austin got an inside game, you know. I think it's gonna come down to if Kid Austin really got an inside game and where his IQ is at. Because let me ask you something. I think it's a little more pressure on Kid Austin than it is. Would you say it's a little more pressure on Kid Austin than it is for Tevin Farmer?
Hell yeah.
Okay. That's what I'm thinking.
He's got to get past the Riyadh debacle. I mean, he got to get past something that I say he got the tap on the shoulder for, and I'm still staying 10 toes down on that. But in the public's eye, that was your trade-off. We're gonna give you some bread, let you enjoy Riyadh, let you walk away, still give you a good fight, but you're gonna take the blunt of this whole debacle.
Yeah. But see, I was on that, and then came down the offer. It was $1 million payday for Abdullah Mason, which was unheard of. The two young guys, let's see who's who. Let's eliminate it, because Kid Austin, he was jaw jacking with Keyshawn. He's always in the Tank line saying Tank name. He was jaw jacking with Shakur. Then he turns down the young Abdullah Mason. Salute at Easily Baked. Salute. Bodywork. I appreciate you. Everybody. Okay. But yeah, what was like that kind of shocked me, the fact that he turned down an Abdullah Mason. So to me, the pressure was kind of mounting, because you know, you got a boxing dad, an outspoken boxing dad, the one that everybody call auntie, and my son's the best fighter in the world. They all say that, right? But I'm thinking, just one of those things, don't rev me up if you can't hose me down. And his father be doing a whole lot of revving up, a whole lot of cash to check writing, and then you pulling out, like you pulled out 2 fights, and then you turn down the Abdullah Mason offer, and now it's almost like you think it's easy pickings, because there's a couple blueprints out here as to how you can get a decision over Tevin Farmer, and you looking like, you know, you thinking that he fooled, but he's not fooled to me. So I think it's a lot of pressure on Kid Austin.
I think the pressure for me, the picking of Tevin Farmer and making that fight is the fight he needed to wash away everything. If he goes out there and loses to Abdullah Mason, there is nothing to come back from. You feel what I'm saying? It makes it harder for him to come back, because the trajectory of what's happening with Abdullah Mason. If you go out there and lose to a veteran, and then people will say, yeah, Tevin finally got into his space. He fought, you know, since he came back, he hasn't taken an easy fight, and that plays into their narrative to say, listen, he chose us too, so he's fighting us next. So he look at the people Tevin Farmer fought.
Right.
Look at the names he fought, and now we're in that same group. So that plays better than Abdullah Mason versus them. It was, I don't like the duck, but it was a smart business duck. because now you land a fight that if you win, you feel what I'm saying? You have what Abdullah Mason doesn't have on his resume. An actual legit, ex-champion veteran type dude.
Cocaine. Salute Bodywork in chat. Salute cocaine. But yeah, so you're saying a victory over Tevin Farmer, does that put him up there with a Moritaya or with a Zepeda, or not quite?
It puts him, not quite, but it puts him in the conversation that people will say, yeah, but you still got to consider young Floyd Schofield. We can't have these conversations without Schofield being in there because he just beat Tevin Farmer. And if he beats him the best or stops Tevin Farmer, bruh, boxing, perception is reality, age. Schofield is gonna get a nice boost to where people will start to rethink their opinions about what happened in Riyadh. They're not even gonna be worried about him turning down Abdullah Mason or Nicholas Body. That's who else he turned down, right?
No, H2O, the dude who Body. Yeah, that he was supposed to fight him, and he had the Netflix. See, that would have been him on Netflix. Like when Body did that was supposed to be Kid Austin. He pulled out of that.
Okay. So he would have, nobody's gonna give a shit about the H2O fight. You feel what I'm saying? And the what's the name fight? They're automatically gonna write that off as probably 2026. Early 2026, them dudes could get it on. Because look at this. He was getting ready to face, a legit champion in Shakur. Yada, yada, yada. 3 division, blah, blah, blah. You feel what I'm saying? Now he's facing Tevin. He beats Tevin, bro. The wording is there for them. How they gonna spin it, as long as the pops don't get goofy with it, they could easily build up internet leverage and talking points that may drive a good fight that he wants coming up next. But at the end of the day, his pops can't be out here saying a lot of the crazy shit he's been saying. Let young Schofield do the most talking.
Yeah, I think he should dial it back until his son shows, like, until he performs again and give us something to talk about. Because I'm one of the ones where I was excited about it. I'm still kind of excited about the young man. I'm not gonna lie, it was just a turn off because I'm like,
he fucking up, man. Like Bill.
Yeah, I was a little turned off by all the yip yapping. It's like, if you do it like what Senior do, I think Norman Senior is probably the perfect balance. One, he was a fighter, so he has the experience. Two, I don't think that he gets I don't think he goes out of bounds with it. He talks enough trash to keep this son name in lights, but Norman, his performances warrant that. In this era, his performances warrant that. I don't like with the Schofields. It seems like you just hear a lot of them talking. And they've been getting they used to get a lot of TV time, a lot of YouTube time, a lot of Boxing Boys time, and it's like we had time. It's like you had us because in your heart of hearts, this young Skull is he's a good young man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We calling him Sean Paul 2.0. Shit. That's a compliment for that little nigga. Not saying it like that, but you know what I'm saying. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm ready for him to show up. Let's get into the X's and O's though. It's gonna be an open guard fight. Southpaw and Tevin Farmer against an orthodox fighter. So it's gonna come down to who has the best lead foot and who has the better jab. Who would you give that to?
I'm going to go with Tevin because he does have more boxing experience. And being a defensive first fighter, you have to have a great understanding of offense, and that great understanding of offense translates to ring experience and ring IQ.
All right. What I see with Kid Austin. Now I've seen this with Kid Austin to where I believe he's a front runner of some sorts. Because I've seen him come out and in the first 2 rounds,
Excellent boxing.
excellent. Like he looks so clean, so pure. It's like, it's almost like remember the Atlanta Falcons. It's like they come out that first drive, they going straight down the field. When they had Matt Ryan and they was doing it, those scripted plays, that first script, but like when that script run out, it becomes rinse, wash, repeat. That's when you start looking for elite level stuff, like making adjustments, pointing out something that your opponent doing, capitalize on it, making him make adjustments before you do your finishing move. And that's why I think he's stuck. So I know in them first couple rounds, he come out looking like the first 2.5 rounds, he looked crispy.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, what are we doing? Like, and then it's a bunch of same thing. I'm doing the same thing. I'm trying to catch him. He might get a real aggressive, want to go for the knockout. He comes in with his head sometimes. I think Tevin, he's more defensive. I think sneaky power. I do think he got the better feet. Got the better feet because he always keeps himself in position. I'm just concerned with if he's gonna be fully healthy, because he kind of made me nervous that last fight, man. Going into that last fight and he was hurt, and I didn't know what exactly was hurt, but he survived and he rallied towards the end and buckles are paid a couple times. I thought he was about to do the rope-a-dope.
Now, for me, it's if Schofield puts it all together, he could seriously screw Tevin Farmer up, because those first 2 rounds, if he could carry that into the first 5 rounds, Tevin Farmer is shook. He's gonna be trying to make adjustments, for a minute. Like I didn't expect him to be boxing this many rounds. That they're looking at film on him and seeing that the first couple of rounds he's coming out doing terrific boxing. Just weather that storm, and then he'll go back into a more uncontrolled, uncontrolled form of boxing. You feel what I'm saying? Although they could bait him into a trap, you feel what I'm saying, and get him in that and let him feel comfortable in that space. Meanwhile, they just picking him apart, and he's not even really realizing in his pops. He's like, yeah, but this is what he's doing to you. And he's like, yeah, but I ain't seeing it. That's the only other thing that's really a big concern for me is in Schofield's camp, is his discipline, his ability to stick to the game plan, listen to his corner, and carry everything out.
Yeah. Now he's coming up on 5 years with his debut, so he got 4 and some change. I'm close to 5. October to be 5 years. He has 77 rounds, and he's 22 years old. Tevin Farmer, he got like 14 years, 14 and some change. He has 325 rounds. So we got 325 rounds versus 77. Now, Schofield has a 66% knockout ratio. We know Tevin Farmer's he's not a knockout artist. The height, they got him an inch different, with Tevin Farmer having a 67-inch arm reach. And they got Schofield listed as having they don't even have his reach. So I think as of late, the recent, when you look at unless you really been watching, you don't know a lot of these guys on Schofield's record. Unless you actually seen the fights. and he definitely didn't start off like Richardson Hitchens.
Uh-huh.
But you know, he's climbed the rankings. He's number 8. They got him listed number 8. 17 in the world. 18-0 with 12 knockouts. And Tevin Farmer is 33-8-1. He only got 8 KOs. He got 8 losses, 2 knockouts. 2 by knockout.
Tevin Farmer lost 8 times.
I had no clue.
I had no clue either. Like, wow.
He had 1 by JoJo Diaz.
I saw that fight. I was pissed off at him in that fight because I had
Jose Pedraza. He lost early on to a guy named Josh Bowles and another guy named Camille Lasik. But he got Jose Pedraza on his resume. He got Victor Vasquez. He got let's see. He got Fonseca on there. Those are the most notable names. Ivan Redcatch. Yes. He beat Ivan Redcatch. I mean,
yeah, he put a box in there. He beat Ivan up, man. I like that fight. I like his performance in that fight.
So who got the better body work?
Tevin Farmer.
Tevin Farmer got the better. Salute Pop with Tevin Farmer. Salute Bills.
Yo man, hey, yo bro, I was gonna go over your show and do it and like because you had some crazy points, but then I heard that man say something and I had a whole other show. So
but see, the thing for me is like it's those first 2 rounds. Like if Floyd could keep that up, like his boxing, he's going upstairs, downstairs, putting in like amazing looking like body work punches and shit like that. You know, whether he knows how to throw that punch the way it gets behind the guard and shit like that. So he has the tangibles, but we ain't seen it all together yet. So for me, I'm probably gonna rest a Bodywork at 51-49, giving young Schofield the point, because when he throws his body shots, they can actually hurt you.
Yeah, we already know. I mean, I'm gonna ask it, but I think Tevin Farmer got the better defense. We could say that, right?
Yeah.
He probably got the better ring IQ, our edge, Schofield, and the power. But how do you see this fight going, Smoke?
Me? I see Kid Austin. He may come out firing heavy and then get countered and change his mind.
And does he gas out? That's my question. I think he gas out sometimes.
He definitely does, and you don't want to do that against a savvy vet like Tevin Farmer, who is not with the program.
Because Tevin knows how to fight through himself, you know, getting a little weak and tired and shit like that. He still knows how to fight and knows when to fight when he's feeling like that. So,
and he keep his poker face on.
Yeah.
But Pop, because you wasn't here when AC went over, but is this make or break for Schofield, or what? How are you looking at this with the 2 pullouts and you know him ducking Abdullah and then picking Tevin? Is this make or break for him?
personally, I'm at a point where like I don't care because the way they moving, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy, but he is still young. But this is a what you would call like we use words that really means when we really, this is pivotal for him.
Good
Just like
word.
the podcast, this is pivotal for him. Like I ain't gonna say make or break because he's still young, but this is pivotal for him right now.
That's a good word. That's a good way to put it.
He's got to do something with it. He's got to do something with this. Like you got a savvy vet, a champion, a reigning champion. Because Tevin Farmer held on to that bet for a long time. And when you want to be real about it, Tevin Farmer was nose to nose, face to face with Tank. Like I don't care about none of that shit, niggas. Niggas want to act, we can act. Niggas want to scrap, we can scrap. Niggas got gas, we got gas. You niggas want style, we style. You get fired, we get fired. You get wild, we get wild. He was really on it with him like that. You guys just talking that. He was really up on Tank. Really like that. So you ain't playing with a sucker, man. So, you know, all that, you know, Auntie Schofield telling you, you know, running real trainers, running real trainers out of camp because you want to steal from them and then say that you did it just like Bill Haney. Yeah, I know the formula you running. You better be ready though. Is you really built for that? Because Tevin Farmer is really like that. From the DMV, bro. He really like that. He really like that. We gonna see if he really like that.
Yeah, it's a Philly guy, but you right. I think see, I tend to think that it's pivotal, but I don't think that there's gonna be any moral victories for I'm on the other side of AC on that one. I don't think he can get a moral victory. If he loses to Tevin Farmer, his stock gonna go down and they're gonna have to rebuild him. I mean, he can be rebuilt because he a young lion. You know, he a young lion. I mean, his potential is, he got the potential to be, if he develops some IQ, he got a potential to be better than Sean Porter, but he got that style and he got to clean up some things. He got more power, definitely more power than Sean Porter, more explosive than Sean Porter. Just as athletic, and them drills he be doing, he look good in his drills. It's just he got to do that shit in the ring.
Yeah, no, but bro, I wasn't giving him any moral victories. No, there is no moral victories for him. He needs to win in order to get that moral victory, and he needs to win impressively. If he loses, you're done. You're the laughing stock. You and your dad, all the shit they talk, they're gonna bring up everything he does. If he loses, he wins. None of that other shit gonna matter.
Oh, okay.
Well, here's the thing, all right? Because he has all the intangibles. We've seen it in fights because you've been watching. Can he put it together? Like we were saying, how Brian Norman Jr. needed to put it together. That's the thing. Can he put it together right now against Tevin Farmer when it really freaking matters?
That's what we're gonna find out.
But I want to ask y'all. I'm asking y'all that. Do you think he can put it together? My bad, because I didn't say it like that. Because
potentially.
Do you think that he can put it together like Brian Norman put it together 3 fights ago? He really put everything together.
In this fight, he has to. He pulled out, ducked, 2 fights. I'm still going with the tap on the shoulder. At the end of the day, whatever thing you prepared, however you was going to fight Shakur, you got to fight him that same way. But he's willing to take a little bit more chances. So as reckless as you might have been with Shakur just to break up his thinking and possibly getting ahead, that shit's not going to work with Tevin Farmer. At some point, you have to display your skill because Tevin Farmer is old enough and he's a dog enough that'll say, If this is what you want to do, all right, we'll do it. I'll get in a fight with you because I can fight and box, although I choose the box. So this is where Brian Norman is going to have to show who he is and those things that we talk about where, you know, he needs to put it together. This got to be that fight. There is no second chance of whatever. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, Scope. But yeah, he has the potential to do it. Now it does depend on. I think it kind of relies on how healthy Tevin Farmer is. I think a healthy Tevin Farmer with no injuries, no hidden things, no I'm just gonna go through, I'm just gonna fight because I'm a fighter. None of that stuff. Tevin Farmer gotta be in shape. If you go in there and beat up Tevin Farmer, I think he would have to do it better than Zepeda did the second time, and he would have to do it more clear than Morataya did when they fought. Can he do it? He got the potential. Will he do it? I'm not sure. It depends on how they've been working in camp and if all that stuff, all them drills and all that stuff gonna pay off. I'm not sure. I think it could be an upset. A healthy Tevin Farmer could upset this guy.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't faced nobody with that kind of experience yet. And experience, because like AC said, he don't have the Wilder, Tank, Brian Norman type power. I mean, he got power, but he's still at a 66%. I mean, so we'll see, man. But we can transition into some other things. Man, I wanted to give Tevin his I wanted to highlight Tevin, man, because I think he embodying the spirit with what we want some of these other guys to do and getting in there with these young lions. I'm not sure if he had a choice coming back, but he's stepping up to the plate, and showing us what these guys are. They're almost using them like the litmus test,
Yeah.
And that's why I'm putting him up there with Gabe Rosado as far as he got 8 losses. You know what I'm saying? If it's 9 losses and it's not a knockout or something, he's still gonna be respected like a Gabe Rosado because he got that kind of heart to where it's like, hey, you want like Pop said, you want to scrap? We can scrap. We can get it in. How you want to do it? Just let me know when. I'm coming. Your backyard, I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to give him a salute and then highlight some of the things that Schofield did and some of the question marks we have for him going into this fight this weekend. So we can talk about, I don't know, what did you take away from that what did you take away from that Shakur stuff that I said yesterday, Pop? Or we could talk a little bit about this Norman versus Haney stuff.
Pop.
Oh, the fight actually?
No, I was saying we could talk. You said it was some talking points from yesterday. If you want to
From Shakur?
say what stuck out about that, or if you want to talk about the Norman versus Haney stuff. What'd you take away from that Shakur stuff yesterday?
Basically, before I had to, skedaddle, I couldn't believe this. Like, was that a recent interview he just did that he said that shit?
Yeah, that was like 3 days ago.
Oh man, see, that goes back to I'm like one of the first pure Shakur fans to be like, shut the fuck up. You obviously don't know what the fuck you're saying. You're filthy rich. You know what filthy rich mean? Like, are you 50 Cent rich? Are you Nas rich? Do you have 80 mil?
Where Bill's at, man? Bills.
He at work.
Bills. Where you at?
I mean, to say that you filthy rich, bro, is different. It's different. Like,
And he said it wasn't about the money. That's what I'm saying. So what was it like? And when? Because you brought up a good point. You said Cause we seen them pursue Valdez, and Top Rank was kind of protecting Valdez. So I give him that. I like that energy with Shakur. Shakur was on Valdez's ass. But I'm like, where? Because you a Tank fan just like me. Where was the pursuit of Tank like that? Like, I'm tired of chasing them. I'm like, chasing them?
You know where you got to go to get him. It's like, he comfortable in his own setting, like, and he rocking how he want to rock. Like, if it don't match what his team put up, and if you ain't making no noise over there, like going over there, and you know what you got to do. Bud had to go over there to do it for Earl. So if you had to go over there for a 2-fight deal for Tank, why not take it and make 2 of your biggest paydays ever?
But remember, they were saying it was just a one. It was a one-off, and he wanted a 2 fight. So I'm like, and so it kind of confused me. Now this was 3 days ago. It kind of confused me when he said it ain't even about the money. I'm like, so what was? Because all of the Shakur only fans were saying that, oh man, it was the guarantee. It was all this speculation. I'm like, I don't know where y'all got all this information from. I just know that the team reached out. I'm pretty sure it wasn't to see what time they was going to have brunch, you know, what time they was going to get in the jacuzzi or some shit. You know, I don't, it wasn't, I think it was for about a fight. And so y'all say, nah, you go across the street to the match room and you let Eddie know that, hey, we don't even negotiate no Tank stuff. So I'm like, where is this pursuit? That's why I be trying to say, it's like, we got to hold the feet to the fire in the fact that we got to go by your actions, not just by what you say, but what you say and then what you do. So for you to come out and say, I'm filthy rich, I don't need, it's not about the money, I'm tired of chasing them, he a girl. I'm like, are you trying to sell your fight now? Like talking like that? But so I didn't get it, and that's why I want Bills to elaborate on it, man. Tell me in the comment section, Bills. I don't know if y'all seen that interview. It was like about 3 days, because I was gonna do that live 2 days ago, but I said I'm gonna let it breathe. I did it last night, but
he ain't got no explanation for why Shakur say it ain't for the money, because y'all know, man. Listen, that's why I be saying, I be asking y'all, do y'all watch other podcasts, like outside of like guys that's on our level, but like the other joints, right? And Gil broke that shit down so. When I seen the clip, it probably was yesterday. When I seen the clip today, it's different as to saying as what's best for business as what's best for the fan. And they sat there and broke that shit down. Like, the New York Knicks is probably 1, 2, 3 top profitable organizations if you wanted to buy it. Because the Lakers just sold for what they said 10 million, and Boston just sold for 10 billion, and Boston just sold for 6 billion. But the fact that New York is New York, and no matter what you buy, if you buy the team or not, whether you win it or not, New York is gonna come to the damn game. You're gonna sell out whether you go into the playoffs or not. Is what the fuck it is. So when it comes to that, and when you know that these guys are dealing with hundreds of millions and billions of dollars, you know at a certain point in your career it become about the money. I don't care what the fuck you say. You want to solidify and make generational wealth and be able to sit back and be good. You know what it is. Like, it ain't saying it ain't about the money. Like, come on now. We all played the damn T.I. Young Thug song. Don't be hitting me up, nigga. I ain't getting up if it ain't about the money. You know, usually you hear my line, start wasting my time. Like, if it ain't about the money, I like, we all could call Shakur and ask him what he doing. If it wasn't about the money, stop that shit, bro.
Well, in a way, when he went over to the match room, he kind of bet on himself. You know, it was some matchmaking. I think Eddie told him a plan. We gonna build you, mate. We
With
gonna do all
broken
of this
hands.
stuff.
He went over there with a plan with broken hands.
Yeah,
Oh, my-
and it was like,
I'm
it was gonna be matchmaking because he was going through, you know, the hand stuff, and so he went ahead and got the surgery, you know, and he's supposed to be healing up and got better plans and all that. But we know it was a plan to go over there betting on yourself, but to turn down a Tank fight, that's the ultimate bet on yourself. Because a lot of people, I hear this underlying theme when it comes down to Tank, and it's the stigma that when it's another fighter, they get their highest payday. There's one father always say, well, people fight my son, they get their highest payday. But then they'll try to say that people don't get paid when they fight Tank. And I'm like, that's like one of the biggest lies on YouTube. I'm like, yeah, you might, because of the way PBC get down, that guarantee probably ain't gonna be. But if you're back in, because look how Frank got out of there. Frank, I mean, man, you could tell Frank got paid. Like, people get paid when you fight Tank. And since Shakur and Tank is probably the biggest fight, I'm not gonna say it's gonna do Ryan numbers, but it's gonna do some numbers. So to say that, like, either way, you was going to get paid. You just didn't want to bet on yourself, and for whatever reason you won't disclose. But I don't like the waffling. I don't like the waffling on behalf of Shakur, because he waffles. He'll say one thing because the OnlyFans was saying, yeah, it was the money and it was the guarantee and it was he wants to know this, and they try to cook PBC on people not getting paid back in and all this. But I'm like, come on, man. Like,
well,
he muddies the waters too much for me. It's like it's too much back and forth, and I like Shakur's skill set inside the ring. I can't emphasize that enough. I fell off with all of the stuff outside the ring. It's just like the way I see Bud. Like, a lot of people don't like how I view him. It's like I fuck with him inside the ring. I call him the closer of my boxers to watch. Shakur is the definition of my boxers to watch. I do not like the moves outside the ring. That is it. You know what I'm saying? And people, I still ruffle feathers with that. People still hate me, don't like me, don't whatever. I don't care. I'm just gonna keep it a buck on these guys. I was saying the same thing about Keyshawn. I fuck with him inside the ring, but when he start acting, like when the moves start acting and looking different outside the ring, I'm like, nah, man, we can't condone that, man, because there's people looking up to y'all that's gonna think that they can do that. Devin Hayden the same way. I don't like the way Bill and them is doing it. This latest shit as we transition into this shit, that's why I told Richardson, I told Norman, I said, man, listen, man, like, leave that dude alone, man. Make him go do something to where he's gonna come back, because you're gonna get slandered, you're gonna get disrespected, and that on code shit is out the window. They can say some of the most outrageous shit.
Oh, he ain't hear what happened today. Yeah, I guess you ain't seen what happened today.
Like, you can't say that, man. Like, he's from a different. Man, like, he just don't understand. Like, that shit is coastal, bro. Like I don't understand. Like, we all played the desert, and I just seen you ran out of things to say, and the only thing you could say was what you said about that man mama. And that's just not allowed. We like you know it's gonna be like, and you the type of probably dude that's gonna call the police.
But recall recently when Gabe Rosado gave them a layup. He gave them an alley-oop. He threw it up. They was coming from the free throw line with it. He was just like, yeah, I don't think he should take Jose Ramirez. He's more dangerous. Like, I wouldn't do that coming back. He should have took somebody else. They turn around and disrespect him, man. I'm like, because we didn't look at Jose. I was like, man, y'all don't even know how to take a compliment. Y'all don't even know how to use what somebody say to your advantage. They disrespected him. He was on there talking about Gabe Rosado father. Your father ain't been in your life. He's like, Bill, my father been in my corner, man. Like, Bill. And he disrespected that man father. Now, and that's why I was out here saying, people be trying to say that Devin, he just gets so much hate for no reason. It's like, it's not for no reason, bro. Like, they be the mug shots, calling Tank a crack baby. You know what I'm saying? Talking about Tank mother. It's like they could say whatever, and people are going to gaslight and act like they don't hear that shit. And I'm like, man, you're not going to gaslight me. I'm already lit. So I heard it, but I don't know what made him say that.
He was losing. Literally. Your body. Listen. He was literally, he could not out talk Brian Norman Sr. And it's been happening. It happened on another show, well, another channel first. And then today he couldn't out talk him again. And when he tried to get personal, and then Brian Norman Sr. was just out talking him, he just hauled off and was like, your mama's a bitch.
Yeah, I heard it. I heard
Because
it.
he couldn't out talk him. Like, I wanted to play the whole joint, but he couldn't out talk him. He couldn't rattle Brian Norman Sr. He couldn't rattle him, couldn't out talk him, and come down to it like toe to toe, blow for blow. You can't, right now, Bill, you can't beat him neither. And it was just like, I don't know if he took a bump, and then it was just like, like, what would make you say that out the blue, other than you getting your ass kicked in a rap battle, or you talking shit, and you the one who trying to take it there first, and he smoked you, and you just don't like it because he smoked you.
Let me ask you something though, because is it signed, sealed, and delivered already, or no?
No.
So that's what I be trying to say, man. These guys should see Bill coming from a mile away, and I'm like, you know, Devin say whatever I ride for whatever my father say. I don't know if he should have said that, but like, they are a team, so I understand the concept. But like, I was trying to figure out these last couple of days what Bill been trying to do, and I was trying to tell y'all, I was trying to tell everybody, I was like, man, right now Devin is a man without a land, without a plan. He's at the mercy of people engaging with him or entertaining an offer, because remember, he was thinking about, Richardson Hitchens said he wanted T.O. He said F the Haneys. He's like, he wanted T.O. Now, he said F the Haneys, and that's after Bill was at his presser rooting for Cambosis and Cambosis' father against Richardson Hitchens, and he co-signed Coach Lenny Wilson getting smacked with the mic and all that. He was there, and I'm like, it was no reason for him to be there because Richardson Hitchens is a 140 IBF champion at that. It was no reason. So that's why Richardson Hitchens said, I was like, man, Rich, leave that alone. First of all, you're the champ at 40. He's going to want you to move up at 47. So where he was able to go get his feet wet first at a catch weight, they're going to want you to come fully up to 147. Leave that alone because they're going to slander you. People already don't give you the praise you deserve for doing it the hard way. So you're getting ready to get entangled. You're going to take a hit. From the time you start engaging with this dude until the time the fight is over with, you're going to get slandered, and you better win. That's one thing. I said don't do it, because you got to look at it like this. If they had a plan, if they had an opponent, they would have ran with it. When T.O. fell out, that fucked them. They needed to go get busy with somebody. Ironically, Boots leave. And then all of a sudden, they want to be full-fledged welterweight. We 147, bring it, and they start talking that Norman stuff. I was like, Norman, do not engage. Stay focused on what you got going on. As soon as they lock horns with these dudes, it's nothing but slander. You already know that's the Haney voice. Even when Brian Norman has been showing, you know, his worth in salt over there, just speaking the truth, giving the facts, they still allow Bill to come in there and play them games. He'll pop in, say some smart shit, pop out. Pop back in, say some more sly, smart shit. And he always has this knack for taking it into a disrespectful manner. Even Brian Norman Sr. was trying not to curse. He was trying not to curse. He's like, I can't curse. He was editing. I'm like, okay, I guess he got this new rule where he trying to like not use foul language, which I salute. You know, Bill will come on there and say something sly, something smart, or try to pin it, and then with the audience that they were catering to, They were slandering him in the comment section. They were still talking about the boot stuff. I said, see, this is what you're going to deal with whenever you're dealing with Bill. And this is not the right way to promote. So he's always going to take it personal. He's going to use the Muslim aspect. He's going to use the father-son aspect. He's going to use the, oh, we just get hate for no reason. He's going to use the fact that they was undisputed. He's going to use all of that. He's a legacy fighter and all this and all that. All these smoke and mirrors. And in the court of public opinion, you're not going to win until you get in the ring and put hands and feet on them. So it does not benefit the Normans to be locking horns with the Haneys over the internet, because that's where it's going to go. Bill's going to take it there. He called Bernard Hopkins a cat burglar, dog.
Mm-hmm.
He has no respect for nobody. He can say what he can talk about Tank mother. He can talk about Brian Norman Sr.'s mother. He can call Tank a crackhead. I mean, I noticed this, and I was thinking it wasn't going to go there. But if you look at how he interact with Boots, he don't do that. If you look at how he interact with Bud, he don't do that. The people that will probably definitely beat shit down his leg, he's super respectful. The people who got fathers that are standing up, he don't do that. So I already knew this was gonna go somewhere with the Normans, and I'm like, man, your son is on his own path. Your son is the champ, but he was trying to act like the A side and all this, and Devin is the draw. I'm like, right now, Brian Norman got the juice. Right. He's looking like one of the most dangerous men in boxing right now. He's doing it the right way. He got it the hard way. He came out of nowhere, and he's proven his salt and his worth. Do not get distracted. Make them go get some work, go get some action. Other than that, they're just trying to latch onto a name, because Bill was still out there trying to latch on the Tank as well. They are reaching for anybody that will give them the traction just until they get something on the paper and somebody sign with their terms and they can get another payday. That's what's going on.
Now you're right.
It's clear as day. It's clear as day, Pop. It's like they don't have nothing going on, bro. So it's like, yeah, we want you to come back. AC kind of, he kind of like brought up a good point. He was like, man, look, I remember when AJ, when they was rebuilding AJ or whatever, they got him this, they got him that. I was like, okay, cool, that's a good point. So I kind of pivoted to how I was looking at the Haneys. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna give them the same reprieve that I gave AJ. All right, you rebuilding. Well, act like you rebuilding. Go to full-fledged 147. Get you a valuable name and do it like that. But like you latching on to these guys that got the juice, and everybody gaslighting, acting like they don't see what's really going on with them. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it neither, because at that time and for that argument, it was the perfect response. But since that, I made that argument for him to try to, just give my thoughts on it. It's like, it's not working out for you, bro. It's not working out for you. And right now, things are not working out well for you, because a couple of your largest mouthpieces have notorious reputations. Let me put it like that. You feel what I'm saying? One guy on the internet, he has a notorious reputation for cursing you out, putting you in the back, getting real vulgar with shit. Bill, now you are trying to make this a trend, thinking that it sells a fight or it keeps your son's name relevant. At the end of the day, what you're doing, you're making things harder for your son. You're writing checks that your son has to cash. So unless you're willing to cash some of those checks, I think you should chill on some of the things you say. As a father is always going to look at his son and be like, look, at the end of the day, my son is a boxer. Ain't a motherfucker out there that can beat my son. You feel what I'm saying? Because you're looking at the child, you changed his Pampers, potty trained, ran to you, like, look at this drawing I made, and shit like that. You want to put the little magnet and put it on the refrigerator, tell him how great of an artist he is and shit like that. Your kids are old enough now to talk to themselves. So at the end of the day, man, just Schofield, let your son lead this thing, because it's not going to work out for you. As far as Bill Haney is concerned, Bill, have your son first choose a weight class. They tried to say Africa ducked because you sent him a response that said, well, we can do it at 47. Okay, so you saying 47, but your last fight was a catch weight. The fight before that was at 140. He just called you out. He been calling you out. You can't fight that. You can't fight him at 140. All right, so now you saying you want to try to make a Brian Norman fight. On face value, listen, that's what your fans would want to see. Okay, if you're gonna rebuild, we saw what you did early on. Okay, if you feel you ready for Brian Norman Jr., go out there and go get it. Beat the brakes off that dude, outbox him. Let's see if you could beat him like you beat Kambosos. So this is what your fans would want to see. But this shit that Bill is doing right here, no. 2 instances back to back, Bill is having people question you. The showing up at Africa's press conference made no sense. If your son's reply was, let's do it at 47. Doing this shit with Brian Norman Sr., and he's a stand-up dad, like one of the only 2 stand-up dads that are in the public eye. Like, bro, get the fuck out of here, Bill. That shit was cornball.
And remember this, AC. Remember Devin's first response. This is how they kicked it off. This is why I would have said this is why I would have left their ass right wherever they at. Go get some work. Go do something at 47 first. I would have did them just like they do everybody else. He said, he tweeted out that Brian Norman Jr. was ass. That was the first thing they said. Then they come on the show talking about they respect him, and yeah, man, he knocking people out and squatting over him. That was cold. But Devin went to that fight. Devin was over there in Japan in the stands. But they have convinced themselves that brand of promotion is what's going to do it. And really, eventually, it's just going to get somebody hurt. I'm telling you, it's just going to get somebody fucked up, and I'm like, man, like, that's why I say, man, like, I don't be hating on Devin for no reason. I say I'm probably a bigger fan. I know I'm a bigger fan than 90% of the LGBT community, you know what I'm saying? Because they just want to use it to monetize, because they can have Bill pop up. People going to be like, oh, man, I respect you, Bill, because they want to be in cahoots. They want to be able to reach out and touch. They did the same shit with Wilder. Well, they don't really care about Wilder. They care the fact that they can monetize off of him. Yeah. But they're always going to take it. And I don't like being around people like that. I can't be around people like that who, they're going to say some disrespectful stuff, or they're going to do something. And then when you go to check them, they're going to be, oh, you too serious. That's like gaslighting. Like, we too grown, and the sport don't need that. Yeah. Like, bringing back the Wilder thing. I was on panels, in the chat, and they was like, if y'all got questions for Champ, just put them in the chat. I'm seeing the dude look down and read my question, because I even put the shit in the super chat, and he never asked him a question about, are you working on defense? Like, what defensive drills are you putting on to be prepared for Tyson Fury in the rematch? None of those questions they would ask.
You just gonna have to do a super chat for that.
I did a super chat for that, and they still didn't ask the question. The super chat never got read. But then when I wrote another super chat, like, look, fuck you then. Give me my money back then. For this super chat and the next one. You're gonna be a bitch and not read my shit. It's a legitimate question.
They thought you was trolling. If you were trolling their king.
Bro, I found it weird, because at the end of the day, I'm showing them dudes, yo, listen, that's me taking that picture. of Wilder and somebody.
But that was their king, though. They felt like he was trolling their king.
Yeah, by asking them what defensive drills are you putting on to be ready, it is what it is, and that's why I just was like, yeah, I'm done with these dudes. You feel what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, it's like if you if you're a fan of someone, here's the thing: people are fans of football teams, coaches of other sports, basketball coaches, basketball players, basketball teams. People are quick as hell to criticize somebody on their favorite football team, whether it's the owner, whether it's the coach, whether it's defensive specialist, quarterback, whoever the fuck it is. Yo, listen, I fucks with them. That's my team. But that's some bullshit. How you gonna trade off this nigga and this nigga? Now what is y'all gonna do? They got all kind of shit. ESPN got like fucking 30 channels that do shit like that. But why is it when it comes down to your boxer, your favorite fighter, it is within some circles, it is taboo to speak on any criticism? Oh, you just a hater. You don't like him? Oh, you must be a such and such fan. Yeah, I am a fan of that guy, but what the fuck does that have to do with this real life critique that I'm talking about? Oh, you just hate. You don't know shit about boxing.
Like yesterday, that happened yesterday. We was up there. I played the clip with Shakur own words, and I was asking questions, and the dude was like, "Oh, you must be Tank fans." I'm like, regardless of whoever fans, we're looking at Shakur in a vacuum right now, and this is what he said. But it's that on code shit. It's that shit that I be speaking about. It's like, man, they just want to be on code. And I'm gonna show y'all. I'm not gonna beat the dead horse, but I'm gonna say this one last thing about it to actually show the character. This is gonna show character. Brian Norman was on the Boxing Voice, and he was saying he don't want to curse. But when people address Bill, they say that alaikum salam, no salami, whatever it is they say, and then they respond with salami, no ham. Bill said, man, fuck that shit. We don't give a fuck about black potty mouth. I'm like, it's like I can't make this up. Like you can't, I don't know. It just sent mixed signals to me, man. And they're gonna get somebody hurt. You can't criticize them. I told y'all about the untouchable, the people who you can't do a video about, keeping it a buck with. You can't, because remember y'all, us three, remember, we were Russian boots, wasn't we? They should have called us Russian boots, right? They should have called us Russian boots a couple months ago when we was on this in real time. Only for them to come out the week of and say they was moving up, and now it's, oh, he been in the weight class for 10 years. It's like, but we were Russian boots just a couple months ago.
Yep.
So people are not going to keep it a buck, man. They're not, because they have affiliations. And they think they're going to offend Bozy. They think they're going to, but they can do it. That whole camp, anybody put in front of a mic, they have negative stuff to say about Tank. They got negative stuff to say about Canelo. They got negative stuff to say about, they had negative stuff to say about Inoue when Fulton was getting ready to fight him. They can do that as a camp. But when you put Boots under that microscope, nope. When you put Devin under that microscope, nope. There's a couple of untouchables. Shakur now, nope. Keyshawn now, nope. You can't say nothing.
Now, here's what I wanted to bring in, the question that I asked you earlier. At the end of the day, we're going to put it out there like this. At the end of the day, there was all of this divided media and divided fans over the first so-called negotiations between Brian Norman and Jerome Boots Ennis. Then we see a revisit leading up to the Jin Sasaki fight, where they was giving that man a deadline. Either you sign today or it's done. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, here's the point that I'm making. After the revisit, if you were going to wait around to fight him, why didn't the Turk step in? Why is the Turk willing to step in if these alleged rumors are true? Why is the Turk willing to step in on behalf of Devin Haney, but he's not willing to step in for Jerome Boots Ennis and Brian Norman Jr. when that fight was heavily being talked about and split the internet. I'm quite sure Turkey saw all of that stuff, because right now, I'm gonna say it, the Turk out here looking like a jive turkey. Like, what's going on, bro?
Because
how is these alleged rumors coming out saying you sent Brian Norman them an offer, but you couldn't get involved with the bigger fight between Boots and Brian Norman Jr.
And where was the money? See, because where was the money? Yeah. It's because of this, AC. This is why. Something we talked about. They already had a plan, bro.
Yeah.
See what happened, it was a domino effect. When Ryan lost to Rolly, that messed a lot of plans up. That left Devin, that put Devin out. So plan B was T.O. Because remember, it was supposed to be T.O. and Richardson Hitchens and then T.O. and Boots. Right? They didn't think that the Normans was going to be all with that smoke. They thought they was going to be prissy and they was going to be able to play that game. The Normans called that bluff and was like, hey, look, we can verbally do this. Let me just have this shot of gin, eat a couple, slabs of sushi. I'll be right with you. We can get it on at the end of the year. But when T.O. fell out, that left Haney without a plan at all. So they were reaching for straws. They had to put Norman on the list. They had to put Boots on the list because the names were skimp, especially coming off of picking Jose Ramirez. So when Boots moved up, that cleared the way for Dev to be a full 147. Well, who was the only option? Well, they gotta go after the Norman. And like Koki saying in the comments, it might be something funky in that contract. But see, what they don't understand, and I think what the world is realizing, is that they believe, like the Normans, they believe in their team. They believe in what Norman Jr. can do. So they're willing to, if you're willing to go over there without any testing, where they do hand wraps over there in Japan in that man's backyard, like, you a risk taker. That means you don't give a fuck. You're home. You are a road warrior, a bona fide road warrior. You're embodying things that throwback fighters do. So right now, Turkey never had plans. The money was only available because think about it. He said, Turkey's words, Richardson Hitchens, he can't get nothing done unless he's working with Eddie Hearn. So that's a matter. I said that's when that was one of the latter times when he actually showed his hand. He showed his hand again by backing them with that offer for the Normans. But see, they trying to be on some A-side stuff and have it over in Riyadh and do all this other stuff, so that's why he has the money for that, because they actually got plans for Conor Ben, and they got plans for I don't know if they have no real solid plans for Devin. I don't know what kind of bond they got, but that's why, because they already knew they already knew Boots was moving up, and when Rolly was inserted and the Pacquiao and Barrios fight went down, it kind of threw everything off. But they already had a plan. That's why Eddie came out there, tried to smear the Normans, and got that media hype going again and got that buzz going again, and they're exiting stage left with Boots. So that's how I see it, man. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors, man, and I gotta go by what these guys say and then what they actually do and the timing of it all. So, it's getting ugly, man. I mean, this card. I think that a lot of the attention should be getting placed on this card up and coming, because I can't lie, that is a great card that they got coming up. I'm gonna give the Job Turkey his credit for putting on that card with Belonga and Shiraz, with Shakur and Zapata, with Sabril, Matias, and Puelo, and then David Morrell, and Imam. That's a fire card. Like, that's a fire card. And I don't think that it's enough attention on that right now.
Alone, yeah.
Because those are big implications for all of those guys. All of those fights, depending on which way it go, all of those fights can shake up the boxing world. I mean, I'm thinking maybe Morrell might be the least, but just to see how he is bouncing back after the Benavidez, because he is still a key player. I think that's probably the least, the one that's least. But those other 3 fights, big implications for all of those.
What if Morrell would lose? What if he was, to lose and shit like that? We haven't dove into the fight yet, but let's just put that out there as a hypothetical. What happens if he loses? What does that do for the 175-pound division? Does it take a key player completely off the chessboard for at least maybe a year and a half, maybe even 2?
Well, they're going to come out and they're going to slander David, as always. They're going to slander David and discredit him. But if he loses, they definitely, because they already said, they came out and said Morrell was a hype job after that. I'm like, you lost to David Bennett. It's just like how they do Spence losing to Earl. It's like, it's
Spence
like
losing the Bud. You said Spence losing.
I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, Spence losing the Bud. Like, it's the same thing. It's like, you lost to the elite, and you lost to an elite level guy. And that's like, even if you was all those things that they say you were still a bad motor scooter doing what you did in that division. But they did the same thing to Morrell because he lost to David Benavidez. Now he wasn't nothing. He was a hype job. He was rushed. I told y'all he wasn't this. So if he lose again, man, he gonna give them a lot to talk about. And they're gonna start shitting on Benavidez.
It may take him off the table for a while. He may have to go on a pro box tour to come back.
But I'm saying we know that though. Like, that's what I'm like. I can't wait till there's a boxing podcast where boxers that still got their brains that's not scrambled and they actually break down the business.
Well, that's what we thought Sean Porter and these other niggas.
Yeah, they bought his ass. They bought his ass.
Yeah, he in pocket. He been in pocket.
They bought.
So, I mean, okay, then that's what we thought Tarver was gonna do.
He too coked out.
Look. I think Ward. See, if he didn't have those biases that he had with the people that he rocked with, he would be the one to do it because he do have great. His thing is the closest thing to the pivot that I've seen. It's just that when he got a bias, it's not good when he got a bias.
Yeah.
But his show was gonna be the show. It's just this the thing with him. They don't ever talk about him. Oh, snap, somebody in here. They don't ever talk about him in the vein of Floyd. They say that he's a great and all that. But where we at? Let me see.
Crush was good.
Do I got? There we go.
There go Bill. Bill, what it do, bro?
Crush.
Oh man, what's going on, Body? Got the Splash Brothers on here. You know what it is, man. I had to take another break before I
clock out. You just mad because your tag team partner ain't as good as us. We like the Dudley boy. We like the Dudley boys, and you like the niggas that just get thrown together for us to beat.
That's it. They just give me a tag team partner.
That's it. They just give you a tag team partner.
Fucked up, man. Hey, man. What I'm dealing with, man. I'm 7:30, guys.
But listen, bro. At the end of the day, man, for me, Brian Norman Jr. is gonna do. This is his division. Devin Haney, Bill. Y'all got to get shit together. You feel what I'm saying? It's definitely about that time that, Bill, you start to take that back seat and let the actual fighter do most of the talking if he gonna do that much talking.
He can't, man. It's a drug, man. It's a drug, man.
Yeah, I'm
that
I'm talking about Bill being able to sit his fucking ass down.
that's what I'm
And
saying.
then,
But that light is a drug to him,
What
man.
you
Like
mean? Not only is that a drug, he owns drugs.
yeah,
right, and that's even worse. That's like a. He took his power pellet. He take that power pellet and think he can just get there and say anything.
That shit, like when it like that's why like we like it was a whole nother. I had got out of the vibe a little bit and was like, cause I'm on some shit like, bro. We cut basically everybody on there is cut from a different era. And like, nigga, if I know you, you ate at my crib back and forth, and we go back and forth. I know your mama, you know my mama. We going back and forth. It still get heated. But I don't know you when you talking about my mama. Bruh, you getting beat up at the playground, basketball court, where the swings is at, where the merry-go-round is at, right when you come out the door, right before when you open the door running out, before you hit the plate, where you going? Come here, we got something to talk about.
You just angry, Smoke, man.
Nah, bro, you don't say, bro.
I already know, man.
We above 40, like they put people above 40, like a certain age of 40, and even the ones below the official niggas that know, like, listen, they know, bro. You don't fuck with us and think that it's gonna be all right. Not the real ones, the fake ones. That no. Hold on.
Right.
Let me ask this question. Bibbs.
So
Somebody can call your mama the B word, and you ain't when you see him, it ain't on site.
they can't even call my mama on the phone. The hell?
AC.
you
Somebody call your mama the B word. Is it on site?
before it's yeah. Just let me put it like that. Yeah.
It's a problem. That's like my son get mad at me when I'm arguing with his mama. So I already know what time.
His mama. She wrong as hell. She wrong as hell. Dad, just leave it alone. Because of you.
He mad at me.
And you right as hell. She. Now, hold on. Let me just. Body. This is your chat, bro. Somebody call your mama the B word, bro.
Back in the day, it was on. I fought like I fought people bigger than me. I had one of my homies. We had to scrap, man. Like it was. That's just. But see, I expect more from Bill and them, because that's why I say, man, they pseudo Muslims and all that, man. It's like I don't.
Exactly, bro.
It's like you can't like it's somewhere. That's why this is what I ask Bills. I'm gonna ask you this, Bills, because that passive approach to things like this is gonna get somebody hurt. Because one day, because think about it. Bernard was trying to be polite and he asked him to the bathroom. He's like, "Hey man, I step inside this bathroom." He's like, "I'm not going in there." I did a motherfucker like that in basic. You know what I'm saying? I did a motherfucker like that when I was in basic training. He was like, "I'm not following you nowhere." I was like, "Well, shut the fuck up then." So this is what I asked. Where does promotion start and stop? It's one thing when you're trying to build a fight, then you're trying to do things, but then you go over the line. Like you want this guy to give you an opportunity. You're no longer the champ. See, you got to understand your position. He's not the champ. He has no juice. His last performance is not like, for me, if the shoe was on the other foot and Brian Norman was in Devin's situation, they would, like, you know how much little boying they would, or you know what I'm saying, how much little boying they would be doing. Brian, it's a because Devin got a name and he got some legacy, he got some cachet behind him, right? They're taking it like, okay, this would be a good opportunity. If I could just get this man on my resume, this is what it'll do for our career. What they don't understand is everything in the mix of them actually doing the deal, it's going to take them down a little bit. It's going to bring them down in the sandbox. It's like, no, y'all are on the right path. These guys are just distractions. So where does promotion stop? Right? And then going over the line, then now you're over the line because Bill is out of pocket, man.
I mean, it start with boxing and it end with boxing. Like anything else, I mean, unless you saying you can beat me at basketball or you can beat me at track or something like that. It start with sports and end with sports. We don't need to be talking about nothing personal. Nobody girlfriend, nobody mom, nobody kids, nobody nothing. Unless your little brother right here talking shit, I ain't even gonna say nothing to your little brother. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, like it's start and stop with the sport. Like that's it. It shouldn't be nothing personal. Like everybody got lives outside of this. You don't know what they going through in their life. You know what I'm saying? So you shouldn't bring up nothing personal.
And they be trying to act like these guys are the role models. Oh man, just look at Bill. And is he the role model? Is he saving boxing? Is he just like, man, like what example because it's people looking up, because it's people trying to do the Devin Haney way, that whole I'm independent, I'm gonna go over here and do this, I'm gonna do that, the whole I'm about legacy. There is people that's looking behind, just like they did with Floyd. It's just like people that's trying to be like Tank, just like people that's trying to go to the Andre Ward, people that's gonna try to be like Bud. There are people looking up to these guys, and it's like everybody want to give them a pass or give them an excuse. Oh, that's just Bill. It's like, no, somebody gonna go inside his motherfucking head one day because of his mouth. And that's just the stark reality. I'm not wishing it, but they are on. This is one of those things to where when you don't get checked, like Tio, it's almost like the same situation as Tio. When nobody checked that shit, I was checking it, but when nobody checked it and then checked it and then checked it, look at where he at. So with Bill being the way he is, since nobody really checks him like that, when they crash out, when he finally crash out and somebody fuck him up, they're gonna be all like, oh man, that's messed up.
It's but entertainment. It's entertainment. Nah, too late.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think they shouldn't have got in cahoots with them guys. I think they should have kept Brian Norman on that track that he was at. It's plenty of options over there on top right now. And that Boots is out the picture. He got Rohan Polanco. You got a Speedy Rashidi. Speedy Rashidi just won an opportunity. That'd be excellent. Blair the Flair, he just won an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? It's some names out there. You got Alexis Rocha. You can stay on your same path, build your legacy. But these guys are just like, they like quicksand, man. They like quicksand.
Go ahead. If you want that turmoil, go to my boy, roll him up, and he gonna roll him up. Go ahead and get that rolling fight, like I've been saying. You want shit talking, you want drama, you want all that. Rolly is right there for you.
Yeah, but you got what's his name? I don't wanna you got what's his name, bro? I think it was Gearsall.
Yeah.
He ain't going nowhere. No, like guys is not going nowhere, man. They want that belt, like on some real that belt, and the way he did it, and it like that's gonna bring few hundred more thousand, push me into the millions, or get me into these belts about to be open, and I'm
so
really just being
Boots officially dropped the belts.
Huh? He said he not yet, but he going.
Yet. But yeah, he doing it. It's multiple reports.
And okay, the WBA.
My boy roll him up, got him another one.
Let's just say like Boots is gone, right? Rolly may have to literally fight Gearsall, maybe Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia for that super belt. And Devin Haney really does have. I mean, Devin Haney could wait. Now this is what I was told. Like no bullshit. That even if Barrios wins the damn belt, if he wins the fight against Pacquiao, that he may move up.
Wow, you running from Rolly too? These motherfuckers.
I mean, it's the WBC belt, so he may move up and leave that open. And then you could have, if they don't get the fight done, as Conor Ben said, he after the Chris Eubank fight, he wanted the WBC belt at welterweight.
I told you, AC, when you were talking about Jen, I said this dude, he not shook up the whole. He not shook up. If Barrios leave, one knockout has shook the whole 147.
That's why
One knockout.
That's why people thought they was acting like I was gaslighting them when I put this up here. Oh, it's not even up here no more.
I'm right here. What you say?
When I was basically saying Brian Norman might be the most dangerous man in boxing right now, it's like you can try to say, oh, well, he ain't proven what he did. It's just like we gotta. Oh, here you go. You gotta look at the moves.
Yeah,
you gotta look at the moves. You gotta look at how everybody started moving. Like everybody started moving funny. That's why I was just like, I sat back when they started attaching, when Devin was saying that stuff, and I'm like, man, Devin ain't gonna do that. And I'm like, when they say, oh, an offer was sent, all I said, oh, really? I was like, oh, wow. Because when you look at the moves around it, ain't nobody really. You got Rohan Polanco saying he'll do it, but who out here at the top of Mount Kilimanjaro saying they want Brian Norman right now?
Now Rolly ain't even saying that.
Ain't nobody saying it, so we
I'm
gotta
with
go
Rolly.
about that. So we'll see what happened, man. How y'all want to close this thing out, man?
When it comes to the Tevin Farmer, because I'm gonna go back to the topic. Tevin Farmer versus Floyd Schofield.
Yeah.
If Schofield don't put it together, it could definitely be a long night. At the max, at the minimum, it's gonna be a learning experience. Cause you ain't in there with no slouch, you ain't in there with no chump. You in there with somebody who actually is pissed off from something earlier because he won the first fight against Zepeda, was hurt and got hurt in the second fight, and now here you come with your damn sissified ass daddy talking shit like I ain't him. The guy that you talk about, I ran up on. So don't like, you know what I'm saying? Like Bryson Tiller, don't, nigga. And on that note, I'll let everybody else close out, man. Body, appreciate it, man. You know, and for everybody, man. Make sure you do that body work, man. That body work is essential.
Body work.
All right, salute, Smoke. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I'm in mine like this, man. You know, holla at Body Work, and you want to see Brian Norman, you gonna get a body bag. But on this Farmer, I think Farmer gonna do this man wrong because he got a tick. I've been saying this shit. We probably gotta show the film. Every time he reset, he hit his shorts with both of his hands, and it's like that is something he ain't fixed, and he ain't really been going and getting the experience. I don't know his trainer, but his daddy need to move out the way and let him really get to training with different people. And he probably need to move on his own and just start getting it, because that tick right there gonna get him lit up, and Shakur was gonna do it to him. Because once you show the, and Farmer gonna expose it, and I'm gonna watch it. It's Saturday night, so you know I'm going in here and clock out, even though I ain't supposed to be on break. But you know what I'm saying, I had to come and get on Body Work, you know. And as far as Shakur just be talking, man. It's like when they back him in the corner, he'll say any damn thing, man. He'll just blurt some shit out. Just, I'm the man. I'd be like, man, just fight, bro. Just chill. Just fight, man. Like, get the fights and then talk your shit, bro. It's like you be talking yourself out of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes doing crazy shit. But, you know, we're going to get that Tank fight and we're going to see. But Bill did say they wanted Shakur before Brian Norman. I don't know how that's gonna work, but we'll holler, man.
All right, Bill. Salute, bro. What you got, AC? AC? Well, yeah, that's why I got spoiler alert, man. I think Tevin Farmer, he definitely a healthy Tevin Farmer, I got it being a spoiler alert. You know, Floyd Schofield, Kid Austin, he's gonna have to live up to the picture that, you know, his father has painted. And, you know, he can show that he's special. If he is special, if Tevin Farmer is the litmus test, he go out there and do something like stop Tevin Farmer or beat Tevin Farmer up, which I don't see it, you know, given the veteran savvy and you know how defensively responsible Tevin Farmer can be, and the fact that I think Schofield he's a front runner a little bit, and sometimes he do gas out a little bit, and he's gonna have to be able to make adjustments. I think in the second fight, Williams Zepeda was able to make adjustments, and he was dealing with an injury. But even then, Tevin Farmer is always a dog in the fight, man. He made adjustments. He buckled Williams Zepeda late in that fight, and he still, even though I think it should have got stopped early on, even my lady thought it should have got stopped early on, he came back and put up a very valiant effort in that fight, you know. But yeah, man, and this could be a spoiler, man. We'll see, you know. And I just wanted to highlight Tevin Farmer, man. I think he's the unsung hero. His name is going to go up in lights like Gabe Rosado because of the energy he has and the fact that he's willing to get in here and romp with these young boys, man. This is the kind of spirit. These are the kind of guys that should get more pub. They should get more talked about, especially when you want to get off the beaten path and all the gossipy, messy stuff that is going on in boxing. But remember, 80% of boxing is in a good place. We just tend to dwell on the 20% that's negative, you know. So I wanted to highlight these guys. Remember, this is fruits and veggies, not that Reggie. This is fact-based content, not opinion-based, even though we have ours. Hopefully you was able to put something in your rucksack to march on with. If you catch this on the playback, talk to me, holler at me. I talk back. Silence is consent, man. We speak to things in real time. We try not to be some hindsight is 2020s. If you like the content, subscribe to the channel. Support the channel. You know, it means a lot when you send a super chat or you hit the Cash App. It just say that you appreciate the content. And I try to be consistent. I'm not on every day, but I try to be consistent in the ways in which I speak about boxing, and more consistent in the time I'm going live, and more consistent with my approach to the boxing conversation as we try to reshape this conversation and make it right. Anyways, thanks for choosing Bodywork Boxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga doing? Oh, okay, you want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to Bodywork.